Hi, today I'm going to show you how to remove the fuser on an HP LaserJet 1320. This machine requires some disassembly, and we're going to use a number 2 Phillips and a pick tool, maybe even some needle nose, not sure kind of yet. I'm going to probably do this video in multiple parts. It does take a little time, and give yourself definitely some good work area. Let's talk about this though. The HP LaserJet 1320, it uses a sleeve, and maybe you had some print quality problems that weren't resolved by replacing the toner cartridge. And also in the worst case, maybe you found some of this sleeve particle laying in the back of your machine where the paper comes out. It almost looks like camera film. That's the fuser sleeve, and it definitely requires to be replaced. You can replace the sleeve, or you can just purchase another fusing assembly. But believe it or not, this little model definitely requires to be disassembled in order to get to that fuser. It's not that easy. It's not like some of the other HP LaserJet models where you open up the back door, a couple screws, and it comes out at you. This one requires disassembly. Let's get started. First thing I like to do is remove the left and the right cover panels, and we're going to open up the toner access cover, remove your toner, and of course all your plugs. And what I like to do is on the connectivity side, there's a couple little indentations. Let's pull from these indentations and remove the cover plate. That'll expose the formatter. Then let's do the other side. And on this side, you're going to have to grab it from the front where the paper tray is. You can pull the paper tray completely out, and you're going to have to reach and get the plastic, get your fingers underneath those plastics, and kind of work the cover off. I grab right from here and pull back on it. Okay, now we have the lid assembly in the rear door. And on the rear door, we're going to have some screws. And there's going to be 2 on the left. And these are the only, you're going to only remove the ones in the white plastic. Yeah, this repair, for such a small machine, you'd think it would be easy, but it's really, it's quite detailed. 2 screws on the right side. Again, our goal now is to remove the back cover. And to just expose the fuser, it does require probably about a good 10 minutes of work. Okay, right now we can pull the back door off. A little clip down at the bottom left. And there it is. Back door is off. We're starting to be able to see the fusing assembly right now. A couple pressure release locks that are going to have to go back, that we're going to have to position to put the rear cover back on. 2 screws, they're black screws that hold the lid assembly on. This is the same exact repair if you have an HP LaserJet 1160, except your printer is white. Okay. Now, when we turn the printer around, there's 2 screws also in the front for the lid assembly too. One is on the right side, another black one, and then there's a larger silver one on the left side, but it's not in front of you. You got to actually see it from the side, and it's right here. Yeah, they just sold so many of these machines, and the problem is, requires this whole fusing assembly to just be taken out. Okay, the little display is going to have a wiring harness going to it. Unplug it. It's just a male-female plug, and lay it down to the side. And now your cover's off, and it's just a small plug-in. Give yourself some room on this today. What we have to do is we'll start on the formatter board side. Is we're going to want to remove the formatter, all screws. Let's start off with the 2 white ones on the plastic, the connectivity cover, one on the top, one on the bottom. You really want to work with a good magnetized tip when you do these processes. All the screws got to come out that hold the main board on. You could remove your wiring harnesses if you chose to right now, or you could remove them after. Definitely want to be careful with the wiring harnesses that you don't hurt anything. And again, I'm just going to carry this video as far as I can, then I'll stop it, and then we'll go and do a new part. You can see that my machine's actually got a optional memory chip in it. Kind of cool. Okay. Now at this point in time, I can remove the ribbon cable down at the bottom. Ribbon cable at the top, and then you got 3 plugins. And there's the formatter board right there, nice and easy. Okay, I'm going to stop this video right now, and then we're going to go to part 2. Ty's tip when you do these processes. All the screws got to come out that hold the main board on. You could remove your wiring harnesses if you chose to right now, or that this fuser is this time-consuming to remove. Okay, let's work from the back now, and we can start to remove some of these wiring harnesses also. So let's unplug the yellows that are feeding through all this wiring harness. And again, watch how you pick these up. You want to be real careful with them. And what we're doing is we're going to actually remove this plate right here, this black plate. And that's going to give us room to remove one more plug. Again, try to remove your wires and keep them organized. Okay, this black plate, you just want to lift up on the little push lever, lift up on it, push it to the right. Now you're going to see 2 more larger connectors. We want to remove both of these. This is where I'll use my pick tool and unplug them. Or, you could use a flat blade. And there we go. Okay. Now let's go ahead and work on this side of the machine. We're going to be actually removing some stuff off the drive gear side now. And try to keep all your screws and everything. Let's remove the little cover plate at the top. 1 black screw. And this plate comes right off. Okay, let's remove the fan 2 screws. 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom of it. And the fan is going to be held on with a little spring clip that has to be removed also. And you can unplug the solenoid, get the wiring harness out of the way, and I just start off at the top and remove this little piece of metal that kind of, I think it's more of a vibration than anything. You don't have to unplug that, you can just let it hang. Okay, now let's remove the 2 silver screws next to this plate assembly right here. And what this is going to do is start to give us access to more screws and to start getting this fuser ready to remove it. 1 on the top right. Yeah, this is really bizarre on how they got this little guy buried in here. Okay, I'm going to keep my finger on this plate because at this point in time I'm going to gently pull it off, and you might get some gears that might fall off. So I'm going to give you a presentation of what this should look like, just like this. And if this black gear falls off, it just simply slides back on. And these gears got little bushings that they'll slide into. So there's a good visual in case something happens to your gear drive line and parts just kind of fly everywhere, which could happen. That's why I like these videos to be what they are, because you really need to see this stuff. Let's remove the white gear right here. And let's remove the driveline gear for the fuser right there. And you can put those to the side. Now we got some more screws. Let's remove this guy right here. And 1 right below the driveline gear on that shaft. There's 1 below. And that should be it. Okay, now what we can do is I'm going to close out. I'm going to bring this out a little bit. So you can see this. Now I'm going to turn the printer around, and we're going to actually remove the fuser now. What you can do is actually bend the metal back on the frame, and because it's kind of held in on a, let's remove this black top piece to the fuser. It slides right off. That's why we had to remove the drive gear. Just pick it up on the right side and lift it off. It's part of the exit assembly. And we can kind of pull forward on this right now. If all screws are out, hopefully I didn't miss any. And it looks like we're good. Oh, I'm sorry. One more. I knew I forgot one. And that's all part of it. Black one down at the bottom. This fuser is held in by about 3 or 4 screws in. And you're going to have a silver one on this side, which we already got. Okay. Now this fuser is ready to come out. Everybody likes to bend the frame a little bit, just like that, on both sides. See, I'm pushing my hands on it, and there you go. Got a little grounding contact. It'll come off. Just pulled it off. Now, the fusing assembly itself is definitely something that could be re-sleeved at this point. I'm not going to show that procedure. It does require the fuser to be disassembled. Maybe at a later time I'll do this procedure. But at this point in time, what you would want to do is a fuser. And so what we want to do is get our fusing assembly ready for the reinstallation. I'm just kind of getting these wiring harnesses kind of ready to go so they don't get in our way. Also, too, the 2 white plugs here, the one on the right could have stayed in its position, but I find once it's out, it's not going to catch on the fuser, so I'm going to see if I can get away with leaving this one in. The grounding contact, we can go ahead and attach that right now again, and it just kind of clips into place on this right side. And there we go. And let's go ahead and slide this back in. Now again, we're going to kind of maneuver the frame a little bit to kind of hold this. And you're going to look down on the bottom left and on the right side, and there's actually a couple little like steel pins that kind of make sure that this goes into its socket. And right now we're good. We've got that, and I kind of want to look at all the angles and make sure all the screws and the plates kind of fell back into place, and that's a good thing. And I'm going to go ahead and put a few screws back in just so we can lock this fusing assembly back into the socket right, and kind of take some of the stress of it being kind of loose right now. Let's go ahead and put 3 in, bottom left. And again, it's really bizarre how much you got to work for this one. Drop the screw. You're going to do that, probably. Bottom right. And let's put one up at the top also. Now remember, we have the formatter board that's here, so I just kind of want to make sure I'm not hitting any of those screws that go on that white plastic. It's possible. I don't think I did, though. Okay, now on this side where the fan is, and let's go ahead and get some of these screws back in. Again, let's get the one below the shaft right here. And let's get the one on the right next to the solenoid on the right side. And again, we have a cover plate here, so we want to kind of avoid those screws, those holes. Let's get this one right here on the left side of the drive shaft. And we also have that black one that went on the right side down at the bottom, right here. And I believe that's it. That's our 4. Kind of get these wiring harnesses now, kind of tuck them back into their like little paths and channels. And we can go ahead and put the drive gear back on now. It's directional, so just kind of turn it until it goes into its socket. And let's go ahead and reinstall this top plate. I'm going to kind of back out a little bit so you can see this. I start off, what we want to do is just put it right through that little hole right there. And you're going to want to kind of work it, there we go, mine's in, until it falls into its position. There's not a lot hanging onto this right now. When the top cover goes back on, it kind of puts pressure on that. And then we can go ahead and reinstall this little white gear that went on this. Now we're going to go ahead and, after this point, we're going to put the little gear cluster back on. You can see it in my hand. I'm going to try to close in a little bit. There's no real technique here, besides just kind of take your time and making sure that the gears kind of go into their sockets on the opposing side. And you'll notice that sometimes you have to turn the gears a little bit. Just take a second, so don't be in a hurry with it, and whatever you do, do not kind of force it. You want these gears to kind of fall right into their position. I'm going one-handed right now. I'm going to put a screw on the end of my Phillips. And again, magnetized is everything. I'm going to put one on the top right, just to kind of hold that assembly down. Yeah, you really don't want these gears to be off. You want them to kind of, and you want to make sure the little solenoid, you know, is not twisted, or you can look down in there, you know, and get a good visual. Okay, got one screw in. Let's put the other one in, and we're almost ready to put the fan back on. And then we'll start challenging these wiring harnesses. Okay, fan, go right back on. 2 screws. Again, just take your time with it. You know, plastics can be frustrating, no doubt. And so don't be in a hurry. And everything should feel just right. You don't want anything to kind of not feel, you know, where it's off. And of course, I did exactly what I thought, is that I put a screw right where the bottom part of the fan was. I knew better too. I don't rehearse these videos. They kind of are what they are, so I have fun with them that way. Apologize for the screw up. Okay, now we can put the one down at the bottom, just like that. Yeah, as many of these things we've done, I still, you know, kind of looks new to you sometimes when you get the cover panels off. Okay, let's go ahead and reinstall the little clip, just like this. Start off on this side, and just put it right back into that metal. Okay, now you can kind of check your drive, make sure it's spinning okay, and mine is. Everything's turning nicely. Okay, now we can go ahead and get our wiring harnesses retract. Again, you're going to start off with you know, this larger plug, the male-female plug, the one with the real thick wires, and you're going to be disadvantaged with a view, and but you really want to make sure that these are in correctly, just like that. And we can go ahead right now and reinstall the little plate. Remember, start off from the right side and then just push it to the left, just like that. Now we can track these wiring harnesses. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video. I'm going to allow you to put your wiring harnesses back in, as I'm also going to do the same thing. Typically with these boards with HP, is that the pin connectors will really only allow you to put it in only that male-female clip. So let's go ahead and get these wiring harnesses back in. I'm going to do the same, and then we'll start the cover plates back on.